EJ Spark in the building with a review of the new Nas King's Disease 3 album. Be sure to stay tuned to the end for a final score. The greatest rapper of all time comes back with his third and what I believe to be the final installment of the King's Disease series. Nas has proven again and again why he is indeed still relevant. Where the first record was more old school and the second album had more darker tones and hues, this album was a good mix of both. I would really consider this in the realm of modern boom bap. And that's especially thanks to Hit Boy, who I believe is the executive producer of this record. Hit Boy continues to be an underrated producer as he can craft the perfect album around the artist he's working with. He provides us with those boom bap classic Nas vibes like on Michael and Quincy, Reminisce, Once a Man, Twice a Child, and so on. Also giving us some sweet, soulful vocal chops like on I'm on Fire, Reminisce, and Legit. He also adds a saxophone, which if you know me, I love brass and woodwind instruments in hip hop that go so well together. He adds it for a smooth jazz mood on Get Light, one of my favorite tracks on the record. And the bouncy piano synths on songs like Ghetto Reporter and Legit adds perfect depths and dimensions to these vintage beats. But what makes this album so modern boom bap is that he even includes some real banger trap beats with some heavy 808s that really slap on this album. These songs include 30, WTF, SMH, and the bonus track Til My Last Breath. Nas proves that he can cater to teenagers and people in their early 20s by providing us with these tracks, and I'm not gonna lie, he absolutely kills it with these beats. They're not too trap and modern where he just doesn't fit on them, but they're not so old school. You know, they really found a sweet spot for Nas with this specific sound. He even mentions on this record that, you know, he wants fans of the age group, you know, 50s, 60s, and even people in their teenage years. And I think he really captures that with this sound that he's providing us with. As far as the lyricism on this record goes, we know Nas is goated when it comes to the pen. He touches on conscious hip-hop, he's introspective, braggadocious, which all provide for great storytelling as always. I will say his age and wisdom and intelligence provides for a more thought-provoking experience. I really love the song First Time because he asks the question, what was it like the first time you heard me, Nas? And talks about how there's nothing like hearing a new artist for the first time that you just fall in love with and how they end up becoming your favorite artist. You know, he talks about NWA and Michael Jackson and certain artists that he absolutely loves. I think it's a very original and creative topic, and as someone that just absolutely loves music and makes music, it actually became a pretty nostalgic song for me. Once a Man, Twice a Child is about his growth and growing into a man and taking advantage of your youth because one day, you know, you may need help when you're old, and today is the youngest you will ever be. Don't Shoot is probably the most conscious song as he wants to change the community because, you know, he sees moms reading eulogies, thinking about what their children could have been, but, you know, he's also saying don't shoot the messenger just because someone wants change or has an opinion about something. And I will say, although the WTF SMH beat is one of my favorite beats on the record, I just can't help but think like the text acronyms as he mentions WTF, SMH, LMFAO, OMG, etc., might be like a little corny for a 49-year-old rapper, but I still love the song and, you know, how it switches. There's kind of a beat switch there in the middle with, you know, that soulful vocal chop halfway through, and the whole song is very introspective, so still absolutely love that track. Don't get it twisted. A big thing for me is how an album flows together. You know, does every song mesh together and sound similar, or does it provide a nice landscape throughout the album, giving us some really nice ebbs and flows throughout the project? And I had no problem with the flow of this record. I thought obviously every song did not sound the same. You had a lot of diverse tracks on there, like I said, between the bangers, some boom bap, had you know, some jazz vibes on there as well. So, you know, overall Nas proves to us that he should be listened to by every hip-hop fan. I really don't think there's not a reason for someone to give Nas a chance, even if you are in the younger audience, and, you know, even if you love Lil Durk and Lil Baby and Future and that kind of hip-hop, you're still gonna find some tracks on this record that you could vibe with. And I think just because he's an old school artist, you know, came up in the 90s and whatever, I don't think that's a reason to not not give Nas a chance if you're a younger hip-hop fan. He gives us many lyrics to think about, and Hit Boy provides some golden production. I think this album is classic, and it's honestly probably my favorite between all three King's Disease albums so far, but it might just be because it's so new. I'll have to let, all three albums marinate a little more and go re-listen to the other two. And I really didn't expect anything different from Nas. It's really right on with the status quo. And even though this might be the last King's Disease album, I really hope he sticks to this design because it really does work for him. I'm going to give this album an 8.6 out of 10, with my favorite tracks being 30, Once a Man, Twice a Child, Get Light, and Till My Last Breath. But what were your thoughts on the record? Did you love this album as much as I did? Did you not like it so much? And what were your favorite tracks? Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate you so much for coming by. If you liked the video, hit a like and subscribe to the channel if you love talking music, making music, and listening to music just as much as I do. You can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at EJSpark1. And as always, you know what it is. It's peace, love. I love s'mores. EJ, out.